Hey guys, welcome back. This is Out of the Park Baseball 22 with the Colorado Rockies here on GM Games. My name is Aaron and I host the Around the World Sports channel on YouTube. If you could head over there and drop me a subscribe, I'd appreciate it. I'm oh so close to 200 subscribers, which may not be a big deal in the world of YouTube, but for me, that is a pretty cool milestone. So I want to thank GM Games for giving me the opportunity to kind of get to know more people and open up my stuff to a wider audience. So, at any rate, let's get to it. So, it is September 1st. We are 64-71. We're in last place. We're 5 games out of a wild card. Our owner is unhappy with us, but I feel like this has been a better year. We took over in 2021. We were 54-108. Last year we were 68-94. Right now we are 64-71. So we need to go 4-23 here over the last 27 games in order to have our best record so far. I made the decision to call up all of our top prospects. Mike a little closer. I made the decision to call up all of our top prospects. You can see we called up Zach Veen, we called up Drew Romo, and we called up Jack Leiter, and I'm just going to stick them all in the lineup and just see what happens. So Veen is only going to play against righties. His numbers against lefties aren't quite where they need to be yet, so we'll continue with Rivas in left against lefties. Same thing with Romo. His numbers against lefties aren't quite as good. The home run power is virtually non-existent. So we'll have him in there against righties, and we will have Ali Sanchez in there as the backup. And then on the pitching side of things, I decided to go with a 6-man rotation here for the last month of the season. I just didn't want to put any of my starters in the bullpen. I want Sandoval and Schmidt to continue to get work, and then Clevenger, Glasnow, and DeGrom are our big signings, and I don't want to pull them out of the rotation here over the last month. So we got a month left. We have an outside shot at the playoffs, so we're just going to sim ahead and see if we can make a move here in September. So we got 3 games at home against Arizona, followed by 3 on the road at Atlanta. So we've received a personal message. We had some retirements. Well, and I had our scout run a scouting report on some of our international guys that we were our scouting accuracy was very low on. So that's all that was. So let's go into the team schedule. 3 games versus Arizona at home. First game is an 8-5 win. So how did our kids do in their first game? Drew Romo, 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. He hits his first big league home run. Drives in 3 runs in his first game. Zach Veen with a hit and an RBI. That couldn't have worked out much better. Glasnow pitched great. Unfortunately, Martinez blew the save. But we win either way. So positive start. Game 2 against Arizona. Another win, 11-1. Big win. And Zach Veen's name is right up there at the top as he goes 2 for 3 with 4 RBIs. He hits his first home run and is 3 for 7 with 5 RBIs in 2 games. Trade deadline acquisition, Joe Adell, 3 for 4, 4 runs scored. Joey Gallo hits his 30th home run of the year. Romo has another hit and another RBI. Clevenger picks up his 10th win of the season. So good start to the month of September. Can we sweep Arizona? That's taken a long time. No, we lose 8-2. That wasn't Jack Leiter's first start, was it? No, Sandoval pitched. Wendelken got smoked. Oh, wow, that's a bummer. Sandoval actually pitched pretty well again, but Wendelken gave up 6 runs. All right, so we now have 3 games on the road against Atlanta. 4-2 loss. This may have been his first start. No, that was Clark Schmidt. Another bullpen. Again, our bullpen last couple of games has not gotten it done. So can we win the second game of the 3-game series against the Braves? No, we get demolished. DeGrom pitches poorly. Bullpen pitches poorly. Not a good game for the Rockies there. We've lost 3 in a row now. Can we avoid the sweep? No, we lose 1-0. I mean, to be fair, the Braves are 95-46. All right, so that was Jack Leiter's first game. 6 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 1 run, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Couldn't have asked for more out of Jack in his first start of the season. So we've now lost 4 games in a row. We come home to take on Oklahoma City, and we win 8-6. So we were able to bounce back there. 3 RBIs for Joe Adell, 2 for Brendan Rodgers. Glasnow pitches, gets the win, goes 6 strikeouts, strikes out 8. All right, so we are 3-4 this month. (13-4), so we're 4-4 now. Another good game for Zach Veen, who's hitting .350 with 3 home runs and 11 RBIs in 7 games. Drew Romo's hitting .294. He had 2 hits and 3 more runs knocked in. Cole Tucker, another trade line acquisition, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. So some of the newer acquisitions are doing well. Clevenger wins his 2nd in a row. Can we go to 5-4 on the month and sweep Oklahoma City? Oh, no, we lose 14-8. All right, so now we got 3 games at Washington. That's another tough one, and we lose DeGrom for the rest of the season. So his first season with the Rockies was an unmitigated disaster, as he goes 6-14 with a 5.83 ERA. I mean, that is 3 WAR, but that ain't getting it done. So we need to go back to the 5-man, and we need to call up a pitcher. I guess we will call up Rollison. Man, that was a rough stretch of games right there. 14-8, 13-5, 10-4. Let's try to avoid the sweep here. Leiter makes his 2nd start, I believe. And in that 2nd start, we lose 6-5. Leiter went 6 2/3, gave up 6 runs. Yeah, so I was hopeful that we would be able to make a run here in September. I thought things were looking good, but not so far. We are 4-8 in September. We now are at home for 6, 3 against Milwaukee, followed by 3 against Philadelphia. 8-6 loss, 5-4 loss. That's 6 losses in a row, and we finally win one, 6-5. So we score 2 in the bottom of the 9th. Cole Tucker, 2 hits and an RBI. Brendan Rodgers, 2 hits, 2 runs knocked in. Sandoval went 5 1/3. Yeah, the bullpen is getting smoked here in late innings. Adell and Tucker both, or not late innings, but in this last month of the season. At least we won. We're 69-81. Can we win our 2nd game against the Phillies? We do. We win 5-1. Good game for Joe Adell, 3 for 4, 3 RBIs. Zach Veen's average down to .214, but 4 home runs, 13 RBIs. Romo's at .237. Schmidt pitches 7 shutout innings to pick up the victory. We got 4 games against the Phillies, and we win again. So we win 7-6. Joey Gallo is suspended for 4 games in this one, but we win again, so that's 3 wins in a row. Jamison Hanna came in, 3 hits, 3 RBIs. Naylor, 2 runs knocked in. Leiter went the first 4, gave up 3 runs. Bullpen pitched well in this one. Can we get the 4-game sweep over Philadelphia? They're starting 7-17, Zach Wheeler. Let's see if we can get the sweep. No, we lose 11-7. Or 11-7. 3 on the road against the Dodgers. Not anticipating much here. 4-2 loss. 3-2 loss in 10. And do we get swept? We do. We lose 5-1. So we win 3 in a row, then lose 4 in a row. 3 at home against San Francisco. 11-2 win. Gallo 2 for 4. He's up to 35 home runs. Joe Adell 3 for 5. Zach Veen 2 for 5. Another home run for Veen. Yep, Veen's got 5. Romo hits his 3rd. Adell is 10th. Gallo is 35th. And Leiter picks up his first big league victory, going 6 1/3, giving up 2 runs. One of them earned, striking out 4. So congratulations to the young Jack Leiter. Middle game against San Francisco is an 11-10 loss, and the final game of the series is a 10-6 loss. So this month was a little disappointing. I thought we might play well with some of the infusion of talent, but wasn't meant to be. So let's finish off the month, and then we'll finish off the year. So 5-4 loss, 11-3. This is going to end up being one of our worst months of the year. And we lose 2-0. So that is it. We finished 72-90. Yeah, that was our worst month of the year. So we go 8-19 in September. So we do finish up with a better record than last year. Really, May and September tanked us. I mean, we were one game under 500 between April, June, July, and August. But May and September really, really hurt us. Excuse me. Offensively, we were pretty good. Fourth in runs scored, second hits, sixth in home runs. But again, our pitching staff really did a number on us. We finished 72-90. Not great, but it's still an improvement. Player development for the month, Cole Tucker got worse, which is a little concerning, but he did pretty well for us. 273, 331, 376, and was a plus in the field. So that's what we wanted him for, and that's what he did. Most of our prospects are up on the Major League roster at this point. So Ben Guess, who was our number one pick this year, high A ball, 4 and 5, start next season in AA. He'll probably be up within the next year or two. He looks to be pretty solid. Gleyber Torres, AL Batter of the Month. Rhys Hoskins, NL Batter of the Month. AL Pitcher of the Month. Elvis Luciano of the A's, who went 18-1. Cubs' Robbie Ray wins the NL Pitcher of the Month. AL Rookie of the Month, Kyle Stowers. And the NL Rookie of the Month goes to Eddie DeVoe of Atlanta. All right, well, that's the end of the regular season. We finished 72-90, which is an improvement over last season. Excuse me. And let's start with the pitching, because that was the worst part. So WAR is a little inflated in cores, I guess. Because there's really no way that 10-9 with a 407. I mean, maybe is 3.8 WAR. But some of the other wars, like DeGrom being a 3 WAR pitcher, that I don't buy. But Glasnow, Schmidt, and Clevenger all, I would say, pitched fine given what we're paying them and what they are. All pitched at least 170, almost 175 innings, which is great. J.B. Wendelken was really good. He was a waiver wire pickup for us last season and was pretty good. Same thing with Conine. He was a Rule 5 guy this year, pitched pretty well. Medina in his rookie season was 9-2 in cores with 3.88 ERA, 102 strikeouts. Patrick Sandoval was pretty good after coming over from Los Angeles. He was only 4-4, but with a 3.23 ERA. Claudio was good. We'll probably move on from his contract is up at the end of the year. Leiter in 5 starts was 1-3 with a 4.18 ERA, 33 hits, 9 walks to go against 18 strikeouts in 28 innings. Only gave up 3 home runs, which is good. 3 home runs in those 28 innings I will take. So good last month for Jack Leiter. Rollison, Dolis, Hamilton, Costi, Shock, and Radial Martinez actually had a tough season. 27 saves, but he was a negative WAR. Gave up way too many home runs, 13 home runs in 56 innings. That's the difference between last year and this year. Last year he gave up 1 home run in 58. This year he gave up 13 in 56. So I will have to keep an eye on that starting next season. And if he's having trouble with the long ball again, we might have to do some shifting around in the bullpen. Lineup perspective, Brendan Rodgers with a great season, 323, 369, 505, put up an 875 OPS, 4.9 WAR, 22 home runs, 75 knocked in. I played average defense, which is good. Looks like he's pretty much as good as he's going to get. A tiny bit of development left in his eye and discipline, but good year there. Joe Adell we picked up on the 24th, and for us he had 269, 311, 489, good for an 800 OPS, 10 home runs, 28 RBIs in those 55 games. and was a little bit negative in the field, but he's actually getting better in center field. He started as a 55 when we picked him up, so nice trade line pickup for us there. Josh Naylor had a really nice bounce back season. I was starting to get concerned last season after he put up a 239 mark in cores, but bounced back this year. 22 home runs, 48 doubles, 800 OPS, 2 WAR. So Josh Naylor continues to play well. Cole Tucker, picked him up around the trade deadline as well. Hit 273, 331, 376. Not a ton of power, but we weren't going to get a lot of power. He's going to hit for a decent average, decent gap type power, and played pretty good second or third base for us, which is really all we wanted out of him. Riley Adams, our backup catcher, had a good year. 10 home runs, 27 RBIs, 1.4 WAR. We're going to have an interesting decision to make at catcher here in the offseason between Adams, Sanchez, and Romo. We have 3 really starting level catchers, so maybe we can use one of them to improve the pitching staff. We will see. Jamison Hanna had a solid sophomore year. Wasn't obviously as good as his rookie campaign. He wasn't going to hit 350. But 280, 334, 407 while playing good defense and providing some gap power is just fine. So we'll get him trained up in right field as well. And he can be kind of that all-around backup outfielder. Ali Sanchez, we talked about him. 5 home runs, 46 knocked in, 1.3 WAR, but plays a very, very good catcher. Still getting paid the minimum. So we have 3 catchers who are all going to be potentially starters, all of whom who are making the league minimum, which in theory would have some value, but I don't know if it's going to in OOTP. We'll just have to see. Oswald Peraza got off to a really, really hot start and then cooled way off as the season went on. I don't know that he's our answer at shortstop, but again, he's another high contact, good eye, good discipline type batter, so he should hit somewhere between 270 and 300 with some decent gap power and decent base running ability, but we may need to upgrade at shortstop in the offseason. Dom Fletcher was our power guy off the bench. 16 home runs in limited playing time. Only started 38 games, hit 16 home runs, put up an 800 OPS. Zach McKinstry struggled with the bat. He's unhappy, which is to be expected considering he wants to be a starter. He played in 136 games, but only started 60. We'll have to see what to do with McKinstry depending on what he wants next season. We might move on. Rivas was, again, another high contact, high eye discipline guy. Put up a 361 on-base percentage this year after putting up a 375 last year. Doesn't do much else, but there's value in getting on base. So I like having him around. Drew Romo in his first big league action, 14 for 64, only 219. Did hit 3 home runs, drove in 10 in those 18 games. So that's pretty good production. 10 RBIs in 18 games. Extrapolated out to 160 games is 90 RBIs or something like that. So I will take it out of my 22-year-old catcher. And then Zach Veen got off to a really hot start and then cooled way off. Hit 203, 310, 473. 5 home runs, 16 runs knocked in 24 games. So he had a pretty hot start, and I'm looking forward to seeing what his power kind of does over the course of the season. So other prospects. Let's look at our pipeline. Other prospects, Drew Jones is our top prospect. We moved him up to high A ball at the beginning of September. He had 255, 274, 500. He'll start in high A ball next year, given that he's only 19, but he'll probably end up in double A before the season's over. I can't wait to have him on the big league roster with those defensive stats, those base running abilities, and those offensive ratings if they develop. We talked about Romo and Leiter. Cisneros is in the minor league international camp. Acevedo, 2.5 stars. Still has a ways to go. Not developed really at all. I moved Andrew Patrick up to A-ball because he's already 20, and we need that development to start. And he's not really hitting. So I don't know what we have here. I don't know that he's ever going to field good enough to be a starting shortstop. But we will see. Veen we talked about. Or Veen, about. Estrada's in the international complex. Lamelli is a high, high movement, high control guy. No stuff. He was in Double-A, pitched really well. So probably start him in Triple-A next season, see if we can get him some time on the big league roster at some point. And that's about it. So we have some good young talent. Hang on just a second, guys. All right. Sorry about that. So let's see. What else do we need to do? I don't think we need to do anything else right now other than sim through the postseason. We can look at some of the standings and stuff. Toronto won the AL East, 8 games over the Red Sox, who are the wild card. The White Sox make they win the AL Central with Minnesota, the wild card, and then out west, Houston with an 89 and 73 mark. So a lot of parity in the American League here. Josh Jung, Jeff McNeil, who we traded to Tampa, had a really nice season in Tampa this year. And Gleyber Torres, top 3 in hitting. Miguel Sano, Pete Alonso, Aaron Judge, your top 3 in home runs. Alonso, Sano, and Andrew Vaughn, top 3 in RBI. Trout, Alonso, Meadows, your top 3 in OPS. Bo Bichette leads in WAR. Stephen Kwan. Oh, no. Wait a minute. Here I am. Austin Cox, Yoendrys Gomez, and Shane Bieber, your top 3 in ERA. Jamie Barria for the Angels had 18 wins. Elvis Luciano in relief had 18 wins for Oakland. And then Bieber was 17. Bieber led the American League in strikeouts with Lenny Torres right behind him. Wow. He's something. And Yoendrys Gomez right behind him. Bieber with 8 wins as a starter. In the National League, Ozzie Albies, Freddie Freeman, top 2 in batting with Brendan Rodgers. So the Braves finished 111 and 51. Wow. Freeman, Bellinger, Machado, top 3 in home runs. Freeman, Keston Hiura, and Ozzie Albies, your top 3 in RBIs. Freddie Freeman led the league in OPS. Albies led the league in WAR at 9.1. Pablo Lopez, Mackenzie Gore, Chris Bassett, your top 3 in ERA. Luis Castillo with Cincinnati wins 20 games. Walker Buehler with 15, Max Fried 14. Buehler led in strikeouts with Ray and Castillo behind him. Walker Buehler led the league in WAR. So that'll be an interesting Cy Young race there, as Castillo had 20 wins and was 3rd in strikeouts. Walker Buehler led in strikeouts, was 2nd in wins, and led in WAR. Castillo was 2nd in WAR, so that'll be interesting. Braves, Mets, Brewers, Dodgers, and Padres all make the postseason. We finished the year 1-9, so that puts us 1, 2, 3, 4, tied for 5th for worst record in the league with the Cubs. So we're either going to pick 5th or 6th. I don't know how it differentiates, but we're going to pick either 5th or 6th. So let's go ahead and sim to the end of the postseason, and we will do some off-season. Tim Hill coming off. The active roster is full. So I guess we will put him in. He is on the 40-man. Oh, he's had options. Okay. This is dumb. There needs to be a way to go around this without having to shift people around. I get that the season's not technically over, but it's over for us. So the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, the Astros, the Twins, the Mets against the Braves, the Dodgers against the Brewers. Dodgers are up 3-0. Mets and Braves are tied at 2. Blue Jays and Sox are tied at 2. And the Twins win 3-1. So the Dodgers and the Twins have advanced. The Mets beat the 111-win Atlanta Braves in the DS. You got the Mets, Dodgers, Blue Jays, and Twins. Dodgers take a 1-0 lead. Twins take a 1-0 lead. Mets tie their series up at 1. Twins are up 2-0. And Brusdar Graterol is ready to come off the DL. So, guess we'll just send Kosti Shock down for now. Twins are up 2-0. Dodgers are up 2-1. Twins are up 3-0. Series is tied at 2 in the National League. Blue Jays win 1. Mets take a 3-2 lead. Blue Jays win a second one. Even this year, I'd bring them within a game. Dodgers win. And who wins in the AL? We don't know yet. Chris Davis retired. So the Twins and the Mets in the World Series. That's not something we would have expected. Oh, great. DeGrom is recovering well. Glad to hear it. Let's continue. The Mets and the Twins in the 2023 World Series. Game 1 goes to the Twins. Ben Bowden retires. That's fine. Game 2 to the Twins. Mets get 1 back. Twins are 1 game away. Mets win game 5. And the Minnesota Twins are your 2023 World Champions. That was unexpected. They went through pretty good. Again, it was a lot of parity in the American League this year, but in the National League, the Braves and the Dodgers both getting knocked out is something interesting. All right. So we have some players on the trade block. We have some players on the waiver wire, which we'll look at here in a minute. Let's look at our mail. Doesn't look like there's anything we need to do. Looks like the only thing that was on there was Martinez opting out of his contract, which means he's going to be ARB eligible. So we'll have to see what he's asking for. Season goals, he's angry with us, so we have to play 500. We have to acquire a most valuable player, increase our attendance, new budget, payroll of about $130 million. So we have no money. That's going to be a problem, but we'll figure it out. Contract was extended. Top prospect list. Ben Guest is up to 5th. So where does that put us in terms of minor league systems? We're 1st. Drew Jones is 13th. Cisneros is 38th. Romo and Leiter are both going to fall off the list because they're going to be with the big league team next season. So that's fine. Aaron Boone gets fired. Kevin Cash gets fired. Bob Melvin. A lot of big names fired. Davey Martinez fired. A lot of big names. Dave Roberts fired. A lot of big names were fired from were fired this year. So I want to see something. Are any of these guys going to be? Let's look at managers. See if any of these managers want to be bench coaches. He doesn't want to be our bench coach. Okay, that's fine. Not a problem. All right, so let's look at the waiver wire real quick just to see if there's anybody there that piques our interest. There's a 19-year-old. Why is he on their 40-man? Tyler Black. No. What about pitchers? No, not really. Marshall Kozlowski's not bad. Nope, nobody there. Okay, so arbitration. Bruce Dark. So Michael King. We're either going to trade Michael King or we are going to non-tender him. See if anybody is interested in him. Nobody's interested in him, so we are going to non-tender Mr. King, who went the wrong way this year, unfortunately. Had a pretty good 2022 for us, but things sort of fell apart for him last year. So appreciate what he did for us, but we're going to move on there. And then there's a lot of, people that want $1 million, $1.5 million. So, I'm fine with those. How much did Sandoval want? Wanted 1.2. Oh. So 1150000. So I'm just going to go through here really quickly, and I'm going to offer, probably offer everybody arbitration. It all depends. So Schmidt doesn't want to talk to us. That's a bit of a concern. Because I think at 2.45 WAR he's going to get a pretty good bump. So let's offer him 1250000. Let's see if that helps. So Dolis wants to. I want to get Gratterall in. He wants 1-3, so 1-2-5-0. Yeah, we may have to. What is going on here? What is going on here? So he's asking for 2-2. So I guess if I offer 2-1. All right, well, I guess we'll just leave the ARB estimate where it is. Ian Hamilton wants $1 million. He doesn't want to talk to us. Tim Hill wants 1.3. I mean, he didn't have a year good enough to justify that, but I mean, it's chump change, really. So offer that there. Wendelken had a good season. I'd like to bring him back. He wants 1-6, 1-5-5-0. Naylor only wants 1-3. That he doesn't want to talk to us, though. McKinstry's not going to want to talk to us. Yeah. Everybody's unhappy. All right, so Adele wants 1-7. So offer that. Excuse me. Cole Tucker wants 2-2, so 2-1. Brendan Rodgers wants 7.3. He wants a long-term deal. I don't want to pay him that kind of money, though. So we'll just offer him 1 year at 7. That's 7. All right. So the rest of these guys, we're gonna take to ARB, I guess. Obviously, we have 2 players that are taking up a ton of our money, and honestly, I'd rather pay Gallo $25 million a year for what he did than pay DeGrom $30 million for what he did. My guess, though, is that nobody's going to want Jake. We can get Chris Sale, who is getting paid $27.5 for the next 3. I'm not interested in that. What if we ate half of his contract? So if we eat half of his contract, we can bring somebody in. So that might be, and I hate to move on from somebody after 1 year like that, but it's clear that we're not going to get the value out of it that we want. So maybe it makes sense to move on from him and see if we can backtrack on how much we eat from his contract based on what we are able to pick up. Like Anthony Kay is making arbitration, but he was really good last year. Middle innings reliever. I think that might be again, I hate to move on from somebody after 1 season, but I think that might be the right thing to do here. Caleb Ferguson is making arbitration. I don't know, maybe we move Caleb Ferguson and we send DeGrom to the Dodgers and force them to, like, if we do this and we backtrack on this. Yeah, if we... So it looks like about 20% is that cutoff point. 25% is that cutoff point. So we can eat 25% of his contract, which essentially will free up $22.5 million. And we can get Caleb Ferguson. And not that the Dodgers are going to be hard up for money, but I feel like I hate being that guy. But I think cutting bait in this situation is the right thing. And Caleb Ferguson could be elite as a bullpen guy or be very good as a starter. So I think I'm going to pull this trigger. Let me know what you think, guys. I don't necessarily like doing that. But I think it was the right move. So fan interest decreased significantly. We're down to a 79. So we're going to have to make some moves here to improve that. Let's get Ferguson up on the team. So, yeah, we now have $20 million. So that gives us some money to spend. Again, I'm not crazy about that. I'm really not. But, it is what it is. So we're going to go there. I also want to make sure we offer extensions to all of our minor leaguers. Do we want to bring DeMarcus Evans back? No, he was really bad in Albuquerque too, so we'll just let him go. Let's sim ahead to the awards. We're going to get a bump from some of the contract signings, presumably. But so I'm hopeful that a lot of the holes that we need to fill, we can just fill using, Veen, Romo, and Leiter. So we get Cole Tucker. He signs. Brendan Rodgers. Fan interest is good there. Joe Adele. We get 2 slightly bumps. So that should push us back up over 80. It does. Let's move up. So this needs to be the year, right? This needs to be the year that we end up over 500, really. We need to start generating some interest of some of our young players. This is now our 4th season at the helm. Some of the minor leaguers agree, some don't. This is going to be our 4th year at the helm, so I think this is the year that we need to start to see some real improvement. And I don't necessarily mean, we need to win 90 games, but I think we need to be at 500. We need to be in competition, throughout most of the season. So here are your American League Gold Glove winners: Reed Detmer, Austin Hedges, Wilmer Flores, Nicky Lopez, Matt Chapman, Nick Allen, Trey Harris, Byron Buxton, and Yolqui Cespedes. In the National League, Sixto Sanchez, JT Realmuto, Eric Hosmer, Adam Frazier, Brian Hayes, Francisco Lindor, Taylor Trammell, Harrison Bader, and Mookie Betts. Relievers of the year: Elvis Luciano, no surprise there, 18-1 with 15 saves and a 2.15 ERA. In the National League, Devin Williams of the Brewers. Looks like he had a really bad year in 2022, but in 2023 he was fantastic. Platinum Stick or Silver Slugger, whatever you want to call it, is up next. American League, you got Mejia with Tampa, Pete Alonso, Bo Bichette, Josh Jung, Tim Anderson, Spencer Torkelson, Mike Trout, Austin Meadows, and Andrew Vaughn. And in the National League, Jack Flaherty, JT Realmuto, Freddie Freeman, Ozzie Albies, Manny Machado, Corey Seager, Juan Soto, Cody Bellinger, Ronald Acuna. Rookie of the Year: in the American League, Mel Rojas Jr., at 33 years old, wins the Rookie of the Year, hitting 27 home runs. In the National League, Reed Schaller for Miami, 5-6 with 19 saves. Players coming over from Japan: Taisuke Yamaoka, 5 pitches, good control, I'm not interested. Manager of the Year: Rocco Baldelli in the American League, no surprise there, and Brian Snitker of the Braves in the National League. Cy Young: it's generating season predictions for the Cuban League. Shane Bieber, 17-8 with a 3.11. He is, what is that record? 36, 58-11 in his last 3 seasons. I'd say that's pretty good. In the National League, Walker Buehler wins, 15-7, 3.24. Pablo Lopez was second. Wow, 2.27 ERA for Pablo Lopez. Luis Castillo finishes 4th. And your most valuable players: Bo Bichette in the American League, 287, 34 home runs, 99 knocked in, stole 49 bases, put up 7 wins. He was really good. And in the National League, Ozzie Albies got every first place vote. the Braves had the top 3 players in the MVP voting. 344, 30 home runs, 102 knocked in, 32 for 33 in stolen bases, had 62 doubles, 212 hits, good for 9 WAR. So let's get up to free agency. So I'm going to, I'm not going to take you guys through every day of your of my offseason. This episode will take 4 hours if I do that. So we'll start to go through some of the plans, some of the things I want to do. We'll look at the free agents, look at some of our targets, and then I'll move forward probably up to the Rule 5. We'll reset everything and kind of take it from there, because I want this to be a bit longer episode because it was the end of the regular season and the off season, but I don't want it to be that long. So Hamilton gets $1 million, McKinstry gets $850, Naylor gets 1.3, Caleb Ferguson gets 1.875, Dolis gets 2.6, Schmidt gets 1.25, and Gratterall gets 2.4. All right, that's fine. So we lost Ferguson and Gratterall, and we won the rest of them. So let's go to free agency. And international guys. Anybody any good? No. So far, no. So far, no. Yeah, if his contact was a little bit better. Oh, he already signed with the Tigers, which seems a little odd, but that's fine. So top free agents. And I knew Jung-Hoo Lee was going to be there eventually. I don't know that we're going to move for him, but he's there. Nick Ahmed is somebody that I'm considering. They need more compensation, but defensively, like, that's what we need at shortstop. Jack Flaherty is available. He didn't work out in my Tigers playthrough, so I'm a little hesitant to pick him up here. But it looks like there are some options. Chris Bassett, who is in the top 3 in ERA, he wants compensation as well. Ketel Marte. Yeah, Jung-Hoo Lee is always really good from a bat perspective, but I think we are set in left and right field, so I think we'll hold off there. So let's actually, after this finishes loading, first thing I'm going to do is save. Ooh, Jose Martinez. Maybe we can make a play for Jose Martinez. I mean, that would be that middle of the order bat. Come on. All right, so let's look at what we need first. So from a lineup perspective, we're pretty well set unless we can find an upgrade. In fact, we have too many catchers. We're going to have to make a trade for a catcher. I would like an improvement at shortstop. Maybe we can, if we can find a taker for Rogers, maybe we can move Tucker to second and then sign Jose Ramirez. I mean, that might be a play. I'll have to fiddle around and see. But yeah, I mean, I think Romo at catcher, Naylor at first, Rogers at second, Tucker at third, Veen, Adele, and Gallo. I think that's fine if we can improve the shortstop position. And I'd rather not give up a draft pick. But I mean, if I give up a draft pick to get Jose Ramirez, that's fine. But I'm not crazy about giving up a draft pick to get Nick Ahmed. So I'll have to think about it. Pitching, I want another starter. We've got 5 decent starters: Glasnow, Clevenger, Sandoval, Schmidt, and Leiter. Our bullpen is not in bad shape with Gratterall and Ferguson now at the back end. Martinez is making 4.8, so that may be somebody we want to move, but we're pretty deep, so I don't know that we need a defenseman or a bullpen arm, although if we can find sort of an extreme ground ball type who isn't going to cost a lot maybe. So there isn't a ton that we're going to go after. We don't have a lot of money to go after a lot of people, but we have $27 million. So we could make a run at Jose Ramirez. He's 31. Put up 4 WAR last season. What would he want? 7 years. What if we gave him, can we give him 4 years at 25? Give him the same contract that we gave Gallo? He doesn't want that. What about 5 years at 25? So he wants 7. What if we do this? He's still happy, so I still have a couple of shots here. Okay, so he would take that. That's a 6-year deal, $24 million a year, with the 6th year being a team option. He would immediately become our third baseman. Oops. And let's submit that offer. If we can sign Jose Ramirez, I can turn around and trade Brendan Rodgers. That clears up a little bit more cap space, or salary space, as it were. How was Mondesi in the field last year? He was really good. We could look at someone like Adalberto Mondesi as a shortstop. I had pretty good stats. His defensive ratings really aren't any better than Peraza, but he played better. I'd really like Nick Ahmed. He's really the one that I want to make a run for, but not at 7 years. So maybe we'll keep an eye on Ahmed here a little bit and see what that turns into. Now let's take a look and see what sort of options are out there for Brendan Rodgers. Not many. They're all bullpen pieces. I don't need a bullpen piece. Juan Paez, no. Yeah, there's not a whole lot here. That sucks. I mean, I may have to package him with somebody, which I can do. I mean, let's let's see if this changes things at all. Excuse me. Brendan Rodgers and Ali Sanchez. And I'd like to get a pitcher. Ideally, a starting pitcher would be perfect, but Nick Madrigal, he's not bad. I mean, he's elite contact, pretty good second baseman, but we're not saving any money there, and that's the whole point of moving him. Genesis Cabrera is an extreme fly ball pitcher. No. Anthony K, but he's 28. What if we just do prospects? A lot of below average prospects, which isn't going to help. All right. So we made the first offer, and I don't know if we saved money just to spend it, but I think adding Ramirez to our lineup obviously makes our lineup just that much deeper and that much better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sim ahead to the Rule 5. I'm going to do it offline. And when I come back, I'll go over any moves that I've made. So, guys, hang tight. I'll be right back. All right. We are back at the Rule 5. And big news out of Colorado is we were able to sign 31-year-old Jose Ramirez. We had to go back and forth a couple of times. But in the end, I think we actually got a better deal because it's a year shorter. So instead of paying him $24 a year for 6 years, with the 5th year being a team option, we're going to pay him $27 a year for 5 years, but that 5th year is going to be a team option. So 5 years, $135 million. So we'll be paying him through his year 35 season, and then that year 36 season we can move on if we want to. Jose Ramirez, 3 straight years of at least 4 WAR, 6 of his last. Well, I mean, you can't really count 2020 because it was a half season, but he put up 3 WAR in 57 games. Really, other than 2019, he has been a 6-win player. Expect him to hammer the ball in Coors. That's been the only deal that we've made so far. I am working on something with Miami. I'm hopeful that comes through. So we'll do the Rule 5 and then I'll sim ahead a day or two to show you what we have going on. But Jose Ramirez has just become our starting third baseman. So we're gonna have to figure out what to do with kind of that jam of Rogers, Tucker, McKinstry, and Peraza. Let's go to the Rule 5. We are picking fifth. Is there anybody that we need to call up or anybody we need to put on the 40 man that we're concerned about losing? Doesn't appear that way. Raymels Rosa. We picked him up in the Rule 5. Why was he not on our big league roster all season? I just realized that. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it. Excuse me. And it looks like that's it. So let's go to the Rule 5. So we have the fifth pick, which means we're going to have the fifth pick in the draft. So that's good. Let's go to our pick. We lost Wilson Ramos. I didn't even realize he was still in our minor league system. That's fine. What do we got? Any decent pitchers? No. Not particularly. All right. What about batters? Alexander Canario from the Giants. He's got a good bat. Didn't hit really well in Double-A last year, and he's 23, so I think I'll pass there. Diego Cartaya, we don't need another catcher. Yohendrick Pinango is always on this list. Can't really field, but has a decent bat. Only hit 239 in A-ball last year, though, so I think I'll pass. Calvin Alcantara is always on here, but he can't really field. Old friend Heimer Candelario is on here. Jeremy De La Rosa has a pretty good bat. Doesn't really look like it. Doesn't really look like we're going to be making any moves for a Rule 5 guy this year. There doesn't appear to be anything here worth going after. Ian Happ. Which is fine. I mean, I think our roster is pretty set. Eduardo Lopez at eye in discipline is really solid. He's 21 years old and high, but I don't need another mediocre outfielder. If he was elite defensively, sure, then we could make it work. Victor Mesa, no. Yeah, doesn't look like we're going to be doing anything. Again, which is fine. I'm pretty content with our big league roster. Even more so if we're able to pull off this deal that I've got cooking right now. A lot of 2.5-star players on that Rule 5. Logan Wyatt with the Giants. He's a little bit older. Nope, we're good. All right, no Rule 5. Excuse me. No Rule 5 player this year. All right, so let's sim ahead and see if I have a feeling it's not going to go through. There's our message, so no way. So we have to add Brusdar Graterol or Ryan Rollison, which I will happily do. So this deal, as it stands right now, is Pablo Lopez from the Miami Marlins in exchange for Brendan Rodgers, Mike Clevenger, Matt Peacock, Oswald Peraza, and they also want Ryan Rollison. I would be fine with that. No, Ryan Rollison. Our assistant GM is in the no camp on this. I don't particularly care. He favors veterans, but I feel like this is a good deal. I don't want to give up Rodgers. I mean, he's the piece of the puzzle that, I think pushes it over the top. At least I believe. Let's just see if we can do. I don't think we can, but yeah. So Rodgers is the key to this, and while it's not ideal, we have somebody we have multiple players we can slide over into second base, and we get somebody who posted a 2.27 ERA last year, gave up zero point 0.8 home runs per 9 innings, good for 4 WAR this year. He's a ground ball pitcher. He's only 27. We would have to sign him to a contract extension, and that might be an issue. So actually, now that I think about it, so if we move on from him, if we pick him up, it's going to add $4 million to this year. But as of right now, it'll remove $10 million from next year because it's got that $10 million option there. We have to hope that would also remove the 9.4 from Brendan Rodgers. So we would have to hope that we play well and fans come out. I'm going to submit it and see what happens. Maybe I'm nuts. Maybe this is a terrible deal, and moving on from Brendan Rodgers is a mistake. But I feel like we invested the money in Jose Ramirez to make our lineup better. So now we need to do what we need to do to make our pitching better. And Lopez is better than Clevinger. Yeah. Let's try it without Peacock and see if it gives us a name that will make it work. They're not giving us an answer, which means I may have to go back in and offer it again. It kicks over into January. See if we get a message here on January 1st. If we don't, yeah, okay. So I'm going to step away, and I'm going to see if I can make it work, because I would still like, assuming I don't even know if he's still there. Yeah, Ahmed is still there. Yeah, we're not going to be able to sign him because he's going to sign a 5 or 6 year deal. All right, that's fine. Mondesi's still on here. He hasn't been offered a contract from anybody yet. Whom is this? Hayato Sakamoto. Good defensively. He's 35 years old. He wants $11 million. I will pass. Any other shortstops on here that really stand out? Dansby Swanson, no. Okay. All right. So it looks like we're going to have to go the way of the trade block rather than the free agent market. Mondesi might not be a bad option if we can get him on, a 1 or 2 year deal. But we have to move Rodgers to make that happen. And I don't know. I don't know that we can keep Rodgers at second. Can Tucker play short? Tucker can play short. I mean, maybe we just stick with what we have. And all right. Anyway, so I have some ideas. So I'm going to go ahead and sim ahead now until I get some stuff done. And when I come back, I will show you the stuff that I have gotten done. So I'll be right back. Okay. I am back, and we have made 3 deals between January 1st and January 25th. 2 of them directly impact the big league club. One of them was for a prospect, and you may be able to see it there. So we'll start with this one. So I was offered the number 1 prospect in baseball, Sam Wesniak. I think he might be a little overvalued. He's already 25. He's never played out of AA ball, and he's not developing all that quickly. But if he does, I mean, you can't give up an opportunity to pick up the top prospect in baseball. So elite power, and if he develops, he could be just absolutely fantastic offensive second baseman. And in exchange, we give up Oswald Peraza. So it's, Peraza is actually 2 years younger and already has 2 years of big league experience. We traded him to Seattle. We made another deal with the Mariners here in a minute, which I'll show you in a second. But I don't know. I mean, the results didn't match his ratings, so I'm not entirely sure how I should handle it. Played essentially 2 full seasons, never put up over 1 WAR. Defensively, he wasn't very good at shortstop last year, so I don't know. We just made the move and decided to move on from Peraza, and we pick up the top prospect in baseball. So we'll see how that goes. We also picked up a reliever from the Baltimore Orioles. We pick up Tanner Scott from the Orioles, who is a free agent after this season, but that's fine. He's got really good stuff, good movement. He's got a great fastball, great slider. He's an extreme ground ball pitcher who can bring it at 100 miles an hour from the left side of the plate. 2.27 ERA for Baltimore last year with 29 saves. And in return, we give up Mike Clevinger. So we move some contract, and you'll see why I did this in a second. So we've now moved on from DeGrom and Clevinger after only 1 year. But we got back some better pitchers, I think, in the long run. Clevinger wasn't terrible. I mean, put up 2.2 WAR, gave up 25 home runs in 177 innings. The whip was a bit higher than I would have liked at 1.5. And he was 33. He was due to make $10 million this year and then was a team option for next year. So we traded Clevinger and a couple of nothing prospects, a 24-year-old second baseman, 1.5 star, had never made it out of A-ball for us, although he did hit well in A-ball a year ago. And Vladimir Restituyo, just a 2-star A-ball pitcher who, again, probably won't amount to much. And in return, we pick up Tanner Scott. So that we now have Scott, Gratterall, and Ferguson as our top 3, and Martinez. So our top 4 bullpen pieces, I think, are really solid. And then the big deal was also with the Seattle Mariners. And you can see here, we sent Brendan Rodgers, Matt Peacock, Ryan Rollison, Tyler Anderson, and Will Shearer to the Seattle Mariners in exchange for Justin Dunn and Logan Gilbert, a couple of starting pitchers. So we'll start with Rodgers. Had a fantastic season for us last year. 2 of his last 3 years have been outstanding. Put up over 4 WAR, almost 5 WAR, 2 out of the last 3 seasons. But his contract was going to start to get out of hand. And I felt like, especially with picking up Jose Ramirez, we have a couple of people who can slide into that second base position, whether it's McKinstry or what's his name from the Dodgers, and I'm gonna hate myself for not Cole Tucker. So Cole Tucker can play second base. His positional rating isn't there, but he can get practice and he can get time there. He can play. He's got the ratings to play second base. And then so does McKinstry. He has the ratings to play second as well. So we have a couple of people that can take that position on. Peacock and Rollison, just bullpen pieces that they wanted. Peacock was bad last year for us. I guess they look at him as a starter. Rollison, as a reliever, his ratings are pretty solid. But he just wasn't getting it done as a starter. You can see in AA or AAA, he put up ERAs of over 5. And then the other 2 players, Tyler Anderson, just another arm that they wanted. He's 34 years old. He was just organizational depth. And then Will Shearer, who we drafted in 2021 or something. As a pitcher, turned him into a position player. And yeah, he hit well in high A last year, but I don't suspect that he'll ever develop into anything. And in return, we get Logan Gilbert and Justin Dunn. We'll start with Dunn. 28 years old, 3 great pitches, good stuff, good movement. His control is a little light. And he's also signed to a reasonable contract. 4 years, $28.6 million. $1 million this year, $6 million next year, and then 10.8. So his ratings look pretty good. He's a captain. Last year put up 1.6 WAR, 10 and 11 with a 4.28 ERA. If he can replicate that in Coors, I will take it. And Logan Gilbert, A bit younger, 26 years old. He's under arbitration as well. He was also 10-11 last year, but he threw 200 innings, struck out 194. Decent stuff, good control, 4 good pitches, movement's a little light, but pick up 2 young pitchers who are cost controlled for a while. Give up a legitimate bat, but one that we probably weren't going to be able to sign beyond next season. So, what does that leave us with? That puts us at $10 million this year, 24.2 for extensions. We have fans coming out to the ballpark. Fan interest is up to a 91. So our pitching staff currently looks something like this. And as a 6-man, Glasnow, Dunn, Sandoval, Schmidt, Leiter, Gilbert. Our bullpen, who knows how it's going to sort out. Let's see what they do. So they want Scott as the closer, Ferguson and Martinez as setup, Gratterall as the middle relief guy, use more often. I'm fine with that. I mean, our top 4 relievers are just outstanding at this point. So we should have a pretty good bullpen, all things considered. He's a ground ball pitcher. He's neutral, and he's a ground ball pitcher. So Wendelken was a fly ball pitcher, but he pitched really well for us last year. Hamilton is a ground ball pitcher. Dolis is a ground ball pitcher. Conine is a ground ball pitcher. Medina is a ground ball pitcher. And Tim Hill is an extreme ground ball pitcher. So I did exactly what I wanted to do with my bullpen. We don't have a single fly ball pitcher in our bullpen. They're all neutral or ground ball. Starting perspective, we've got Glasnow, who's ground ball. Dunn is neutral. Sandoval's neutral. Schmidt is a ground ball pitcher. Leiter is neutral. And Gilbert is neutral. So we don't have a single fly ball pitcher on our staff. I think this sets us up to have our best potential pitching staff that we've had in our 4 years. Offensively, I think we're still going to be okay. You know, we put Tucker there. Oh, no, we were going to play Tucker at... No, we still needed a shortstop. That was the last thing we needed. I could put McKinstry at short. I could put Cole Tucker at short. The ratings are there. I mean, maybe we do this. Him at short and him at second. We still have too many catchers and really not enough infielders at this point. So let's go in and let's take a look at the offseason. Let's look at the free agents, see if we have any shortstops remaining. Mondesi's still there. I mean, can we sign him for 1 year? If we do 3 years with 2 team options for like 7, would he do that? Because I'd be perfectly content putting Mondesi at short for a year and see how he does. Will he take that? He will. Okay. So 3 years, $21 million. Mondesi at shortstop has put up really good numbers the last couple seasons, frankly. Offensively and defensively, he was very, very good for Kansas City. So if we can make him our starting shortstop, then we have both Cole Tucker and Zach McKinstry to sort of rotate along the infield. Outfield, we have too many outfielders. We don't need 6 outfielders. Fletcher, Rivas, Hanna. I'm going to keep Hanna because he's going to be the best defensively. Rivas is probably number 2, and then Fletcher's probably number 3. So we may not quite be done with the moves yet here. What happens if we do this? Because we aren't going to keep 3 catchers, and I really don't want to send... Well, I mean, maybe we just send one of them down, because we don't really have any backup catchers in the system. Rosa should be on the big league roster too. Yeah, we really don't have any catchers that are ready. I mean, Bernal is only 21, but 2.5 star potential. We don't really... So maybe we just send one of these guys. I mean, they're all going to be miserable if we send them down. And frankly, none of them deserve it. They all hit well enough and field well enough to stay in the big leagues. So Rivas, good contact, good gap, good eye, good avoid K. Fletcher is the power bat. He had 16 home, struck out 92 times though. So what happens if we do this? Let's just take a look. I may pause again and continue to sim ahead because that last 24-day section took me about 90 minutes. So I don't want to sit here for the next 2 hours and try to continue to make moves. But if something pops up here that's interesting based off Fletcher and Sanchez, I'll jump at it and we'll move on. That's a great name. Vinny Pasquantino. Yeah. Like, I'm not really interested in any mid-30s relievers. Jose Pujols, no. He's got good power, but I'm already getting that out of Fletcher. All right, so I'm going to continue on here till the start of spring training, I guess. I'll come back again with any moves that have been made at that point. We'll sim through spring training. We will set our rosters at the end of spring training, and that'll be that. So I'll be back in a minute. All right, guys, we are back. It's Monday, April 1st. I made the decision to go through spring training. I didn't think you guys necessarily wanted to see it. But we went through spring training, and we made a couple of moves to shore up the bench since the end of January. Nothing major, but just picked up a couple of right-handed bats because we were very, very left-handed on our big league roster. So we picked up a couple of right-handers. First of all, we picked up Enrique Hernandez, or Kike, as he's known. Very, very flexible, and this is what I was going for. So now we have Kike Hernandez and Zach McKinstry, who can play basically any position on the field. Didn't play particularly well last year after he got traded to Seattle, but still really solid ratings against left-handed hitters, which is left-handed pitchers, rather, which is who he's going to primarily play against. And then we also picked up Miguel Andujar, who's only a two-star player, but literally he's on this team to be a pinch hitter against left-handed. I mean, I guess technically can pinch hit against anybody, but really good batting ratings against left-handers. He's not going to play the field ever, but I thought he would be a good pickup from the right side against lefties. So, excuse me. From a spring training perspective, I stuck Cole Tucker out in center every fourth game because I wanted him to get some additional playing time there. He can now play second, third, short, center, and right. McKinstry can play second, third, short, left, and right. And Kike can play first, second, third, short, left, center, and right. So those three are going to give us a ton of flexibility should we have any injuries. I couldn't find any takers for any of my catchers, so either Sanchez or Adams is going to get sent on. It's probably going to be Riley Adams. He's not going to be thrilled about it, but it's probably going to be Riley Adams. So those are the two moves we made in terms of lineup construction. We didn't make any moves pitching-wise. We have our six starters, and I have a difficult decision to make here about who I want to send to the bullpen. I think from a statistics standpoint, it's probably Patrick Sandoval, but that would mean that I'm running with 5 righties in my rotation, which I guess is fine. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. But all of my pitchers pitched pretty well, except for Justin Dunn, but ratings-wise, I'm not concerned about Dunn. So yeah, that's what we did in the downtime. Our owner bumped our budget because we had a successful offseason. You can see we're up to a 20% bump in revenue. We have $10 million for free agents, $16 million for extensions, and I just couldn't make it work with Miami. I tried over and over and over and over again to get Pablo Lopez, and I could not make it work. So, yeah, just couldn't make it work. So we'll readdress this. This might be something we look at midway through the season. If we're in a contention role, we might do that. So what we need to do now is we need to cut down our roster. We're at 39. We have 20 pitchers. Gratterall's out for the first 3 weeks, so we'll put him on the DL right away. Pitching ratings, so we're at 19. We need to get down to 13, so we got to send 6 down. Crook, Doyle, we're going to be the first 2. Man, this is going to be tough. We have a lot of pretty good pitchers on our roster. Man, If he can end up at 58, 58, 59, I'll take it. I like that his movement, we got a movement bump there. We have a solid pitching staff. So who do we want to send down? So I think Conine, Kostichuk. It's like we still have to send 2 more pitchers down. I don't want to send Sandoval down. And if we make him a reliever, what does that do for his stats? Yeah, I mean, he gets better. He doesn't get a ton better, but he gets better. So we still have to send 2 people down, huh? I mean, it's not going to be any of these guys. It's not going to be Ferguson, Dolis, Glasnow, Martinez, Medina, Scott, Dunn, Gilbert, Schmidt, or Leiter. So, Wendelken? I mean, I can't believe I'm about to send him. He's okay. Can we send Rosa down? We can. And then Tim Hill. Okay, he's gone waivers. All right, that's fine. We'll designate him. So we have a lot of depth in our bullpen. I mean, our 13-man pitching staff looks pretty solid. And then down in AAA, we have Doyle, Rosa, Conine, and Kostichuk. I mean, 4 really solid relievers that we can call up at any point in time. They're all unhappy because they all want to be in the big leagues, and I understand that. But right now we have a lot of good pitchers. So, yeah, it is what it is. So we're going to go with Glasnow, then Dunn, then Schmidt, then Gilbert, then Leiter. So that's going to be our 5-man. That's a pretty solid 5-man rotation. From a name perspective, it's obviously not as good as it was last season when we had DeGrom and Clevenger, but from a ratings perspective, I think we're better off this season. Yeah, I mean, we have a pretty good pitching staff. I think I want to make... I mean, Martinez is my closer just because he's been my closer. But if he struggles this year, we've got people we can go to. I think I want to make Ferguson a stopper. I think we have enough solid pitching that we can do that. How's Scott against righties? He's pretty good, right? Yeah, he's not terrific, but he's pretty good. Medina's gotten a lot better, but I want him as a middle reliever. So we're going to go Dolis and Tanner Scott as our setup guys. And then let's just bounce back. So that puts Wendelken as a long reliever. Sandoval will be long relief as well. So, yeah, I like our pitching staff, guys. I like it. We have a couple of fly ball pitchers. I guess Martinez is considered fly ball now. So we'll have to keep an eye there. Wendelken and Martinez are both fly ball pitchers. If either of them struggle, we can really quickly go to Tanner Scott or Caleb Ferguson as our closers. I like our pitching rotation. I said that last year, though, and things kind of went sideways, so we'll see. So we're at 32. We got to send 6 batters down. So Riley Adams, Ataman, Celestino, Maciel, Smith Najiba. So Celestino's got to be, it's fine, he can be DFA'd. So I think I still have to send 1 more down, right? Yeah. I got to send 1 more player down, and I think it's got to be Rivas. So we got Hannah to back up all 3 outfield positions. Tucker can play center field. Enrique Hernandez can play all 3 outfield positions. So I think it's going to be Rivas. Well, there we go. There is our opening day roster. Let's set our lineups. So batting ratings. Who's going to lead us? So Jose Martinez is our number 3 hitter. And Joey Gallo is going to be our number 4. His contact is down to a 29. Oof. I mean, if he gives us this season for the next 2 years, I'll take it. But Gallo's going to be our right fielder. Joe Adell will bat in the number 2 hole. No, Naylor's going to bat in the 2 hole. Adell's going to bat 5th. Veen will bat 6th and play left. Do we go Cole? So against righties, do we go McKinstry or do we go Tucker? I think we're going to go Cole Tucker in the leadoff spot. And then McKinstry will back up those positions. So shortstop, we'll put Mondesi batting 8th or 7th and Romo batting 8th. Yep, that's good. All right, and now I'm going to let it generate, but I'm probably going to screw around with it because if Tucker's starting, I don't want him also backing up at third and short. So McKinstry is going to back up at third, and McKinstry's going to back up at short. He's going to start every fifth day and every third day because I do want him to play. Hannah's not going to be batting every third day. Hernandez will back him up in left, and he can play like once a week or something, and then Hannah can play like, I don't know, every fifth game there. Right field, Hernandez, pretty good right fielder. We'll stick him in right as well. And he can go like every eighth game. So Hernandez and McKinstry are going to back up most of our positions. Hannah will back up in center. Andujar will be our primary pinch hitter. That works. All right, so let's copy the lineup and let's set our lineups against lefties. And this is going to change because we are going to put Hernandez in there. It's just a matter of where. So Tucker against lefties isn't as good, right? But he's still pretty good. Kike's better, though. I think Kike Hernandez is our second baseman against lefties batting leadoff. Romo... We're going to bat Sanchez, I think, against lefties. Yeah. All right, so let's back this up. Veen against lefties is, he's okay. He's still not great, but he's okay. Naylor, he's fine. Gallo against lefties, he's going to hit, 150, but at this point, it's fine. Mondesi can hit lefties pretty well, so I think we'll leave him there. That's fine. And then here we're going to do every seventh game. Since we have Enrique out there, Tucker can play right, and he can play center better than McKinstry. So basically, McKinstry's got to be our backup infielder, and Tucker will be our backup outfielder. Can Tucker play first? No. I don't want Tucker playing every third game against first baseman. So Tucker's going to be here every, fifth game, I guess. Hannah can back up in left and center. Not every second game, though. Every, eighth game and every, ninth game. And then... McKinstry is McKinstry the better shortstop? No, I think Tucker's actually better. Yeah, he's actually better. So we're going to go like that against lefties. So let's come in here real quick and copy our depth chart. Excuse me. Paste our depth chart and paste our lineup. And then against righties, who do we want as our designated hitter? We'll get McKinstry out there, get him some playing time. And then we can put Andujar in there like that. And then here we will copy the depth chart. We will paste the depth chart. We will copy the lineup. Paste the lineup, and then we're going to stick Miguel Andujar in there as the designated hitter against lefties. We'll move him up the lineup some. Stick him there. And I guess we'll put Tucker there. It doesn't really matter. All right, so there is our lineup. So we're going to be taking on San Francisco on opening day. So what does their team look like? I just want to see what roster we're going to be going with. So their opening day pitcher will likely be Trevor Bauer. This is a game we're going to play in the next episode like we always do. So if we go back to us, that means our opening day lineup will likely be Tucker, Naylor, Ramirez, Gallo, Adele, Veen, Mondesi, and Romo, with Tyler Glasnow on the mound. Anything else I need to look at? I don't believe so. We've looked at development already. So let's just go ahead to opening day. We'll take a look at our prospects. We'll take a look at where they think we're going to land, and we'll call it a very long episode. (16 and 14 in the preseason or in spring training. I know it doesn't mean a whole lot, but it's, when you're looking for victories, it's nice to come out on that side. Man, I am hoping Jose has a good year. I mean, we overpaid, I think, for Joey Gallo a couple years ago. But if Ramirez is able to put up seasons comparable to what he had in Cleveland, that's really, I think, going to make up. Because, ultimately, we're paying $55 million for Joey Gallo and Jose Ramirez. And I don't think that's terrible. So he expects us to play 500 ball. Top 100 prospects, we have number 2 now in Wozniak. Ben Guess is number 5. Drew Jones is number 5. So we have 3 of the top 9 prospects in the major leagues. Wozniak, man, I hope he develops. Ben Guess is 5th. He's going to start in Double-A. And Drew Jones is 9th. He's also going to start in Double-A. Cisneros, he's still in the minor league complex. So that's cool. Let's look at our pipeline. So our Double-A team could be pretty stacked as they've got Wozniak, Guest, and Jones. So the Hartford Yard Goats look to be pretty stacked this year. Willie Acevedo is still in rookie ball. Those ratings have to improve. Carter Smith, we took last season. He's number 84. Picked him in the 7th round. He's going to start in A-ball. He's 22. If the control develops, he's an extreme ground ball pitcher. I think we could have something there, but the control has to be better than that. We can deal with the stuff. Control needs to be better, though. Andrew Patrick still isn't hitting. So he'll just start in A-ball, and we'll see what happens. Venus with the big club. Alex Freeland is another one I'm excited about. He's our 3rd baseman we took in the 2nd round last year. Started in A-ball, moved up to Double-A. Didn't really hit all that well, so he'll replicate Double-A. But again, good gap power, good home run power, good eye, good discipline. Projects out to be, a high power, high on base, low average guy, which is fine. Cole Wagner is number 232. He was a pitcher that we drafted, turned him into a hitter. Michael Brown, I don't know what we're going to get out of him. If he develops fully, he could be Joey Gallo, right? With that home run power and that eye and discipline, so we'll see. Luke Lito is starting to develop here, which is nice. He's 2.5 star, but look at those hitting ratings. Again, a high power, high on base guy with low contact who can play first base. That's fine with me. Anybody else we want to look at? We had some players sort of fall off the list. Hunter Barco we took last year. He's going to be in Double-A as well. We had some players sort of fall off the list here. Is there anybody that we need to stop having the AI control the development on? No, Calvin Harris is fine. Jason Jones needs to start developing here at some point. So, yeah, I think that's going to do it, guys. So when we come back, the next episode will be opening day. We will play opening day, and then we'll sim ahead through the end of April. I feel good. I felt good about coming into last season, but I was nervous about the money we dished out to DeGrom, and that was obviously well-deserved. So, made the decision to cut bait before you can't trade him. And we were able to pick up Caleb Ferguson in exchange. So, that's something I'm pretty happy about. I think we have a pretty good pitching staff, assuming our starters hold up. Our lineup, I think, is going to be much improved. I'm super excited for Jose Ramirez. It's just an elite bat in the middle of the lineup. Yeah, I mean, he's going to be really good. I mean, Gallo and Adele could, if Gallo doesn't drive in the runs, Adele will. Joe Adele is he's never going to hit. He's always going to strike out a bunch, but should hit for a high enough average, should hit 20 to 25 home runs. I'm excited about Zach Veen getting his first opening day. Excited about Drew Romo. So I'm excited about this upcoming season because we've got our young players starting to break through here a little bit. Let me know your thoughts, guys. And we made a lot of moves that offseason. Let me know how you think I did. And yeah, the next episode will play opening day, so I appreciate you guys watching. And again, I say this every episode, so if you're with me at the end, do me a favor, drop a subscribe on the GM Games channel, follow their Discord, a bunch of links there to various Let's Plays. So if you're a sports sim guy like I am, it's a great thing to be a part of. And then obviously head over to my channel at Around the World Sports. Drop me a subscribe over there. I'd appreciate it. We'll talk soon, guys. Thanks. Bye-bye.